Now live, Chair.
Good evening and welcome to this Personnel Committee on the 30th of March 2021. So I just want to remind everyone that members of the public viewing the meeting via the live stream can only see the person who is speaking, and also that it takes a second or two for Zoom to switch between speakers. So if you could just pause to allow that switch to happen, that would be great. What I'm going to do now is run through a few points. So if you could please note, this is a virtual meeting. The live streaming is also being recorded, and the recording will be made available on the Council's website following the meeting. Under the openness of local government bodies regulations, people may film or record this meeting, and this is outside the Council's control. However, people wishing to film or record the meeting should do so in a way that does not disrupt the business of the meeting. Also, that the meeting is not disturbed. Can everyone please make sure that any devices are turned off, any doors shut, so that there's no interruptions, and to ensure that the environment that we're sitting in for this meeting is distraction-free. And if you have any smart speakers, Alexa, Siri, etc., by all means, please turn those off as well, so they're not recording any conversations, which would be a breach of GDPR. So as you know, by now, members will need to introduce themselves and state their name and confirm that they can see and hear the proceedings. And we'll be using the raise hand feature in the participants section of the Zoom software to speak to enable me to actually call you to speak. If everyone could do that rather than waving hands, that will make life a lot easier for me. So thank you very much. So I'm first going to ask all of those present to confirm that they can see and hear the proceedings. So I'm going to start off with Councillor Barclay.
Good evening, Leader. Yes, I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Baldwin.
Thank you, Leader. I can hear and see the proceedings.
Thank you very much. Councillor Brennan.
Thank you. I can see and hear the proceedings.
Thank you very much, Councillor. You're slightly faint, so I think you might have to yell a little bit later on. Councillor Lowe.
Thank you, Chair. I can both see and hear the proceedings.
Perfect volume on that one. Thank you very much, Councillor Lowe. Councillor Poland.
Thank you, Chair. I can see and hear proceedings and apologise for being a second late.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Shepherd.
Thank you, Chair. I can see and hear the proceedings.
Fantastic. That's a full house. Thank you very much to all of you. Now, we have a number of officers with us tonight, so if likewise I can ask you to verbally confirm that you're present and that you can see and hear the proceedings. So I'm going to start off with Simon Jackson, who's our Strategic Director of Corporate Services. Sorry.
Thank you, Chair. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much, Simon. We've got Anna Cairns also as our Charnwood HR Manager. Good evening, Anna. I can see your name. Are you there, Anna?
Sorry, yes, I can see and hear proceedings. Sorry.
That's okay. No
problem there.
No problems at all. No problems at all. Okay, thank you very much. And we've got Helen Gresson, who's our Organisational Development Manager. Good evening, Helen.
Good evening. Thank you, Chair. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much. We've got Sally Watson, who's making sure that we do everything correctly, Democratic Services Officer.
Thank you, Chair. I can hear and see.
Thank you very much. And we also have Nikki Conway, who's clerking this meeting for us, also from Democratic Services team.
Thank you, Chair. I can see and hear proceedings.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Good to see you. And we also have Councillor Smidovic, who's here as an observer, so silent but listening. So we're now moving on to item 1, which is apologies. We have no apologies. We're actually a full house, which is excellent. So we go straight on to item 2, minutes of the previous meeting. That meeting was held on the 12th of January 2021. Hopefully everyone's read through them. And if there are any points of clarification, by all means, raise your yellow hand now. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to verbally confirm that you are content to receive the minutes and note the minutes as taken. So if I can go through each of you again. So Councillor Barclay.
I'm happy to accept the minutes, Leader.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Baldwin.
I'm happy to accept the minutes.
Thank you very much. Councillor Brennan.
Yes, I'm happy to accept the minutes. I'm a bit louder now.
You are perfect. Absolutely spot on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councillor Lowe.
Thank you, Chair. I confirm the minutes.
Thank you very much. Councillor Poland.
Happy to accept the minutes, Chair.
Excellent. Councillor Shepherd.
Yes, happy to accept the minutes, Chair.
Brilliant. And myself as well. I'm happy with those. So that is great. They are accepted and as true and accurate minutes. So we now move on to item 3, which is disclosures of pecuniary and personal interests. So can I ask anyone who has any disclosures to make whether they can actually raise their yellow hand? Otherwise, I'm going to wait for a couple of seconds just to make sure if I have seen any yellow hands. No, there are no yellow hands. So there are no disclosures of pecuniary or personal interest to make. So we move on now to item 4. Questions under other committee procedures 12.8. No questions have been submitted. So we now move on to item 5, which is personnel committee panel update. What I'd like to say is to say that I'd like to note for the purposes of the minutes that a panel consisting of members of the Personnel Committee met on the 3rd of February 2020 to complete the Chief Executive's probationary review. This would have been reported to the committee at its meeting on the 24th of March, but this 2020, but this meeting was unfortunately cancelled due to the coronavirus pandemic. In addition, the panel also met on the 12th of March 2021. Sorry, previously I think I probably said 3rd of February 2021. It's actually 3rd of February 2020, so apologies. So the panel also met on the 12th of March 2021 to conduct the Chief Executive's annual personnel review, which took place successfully. So that's for the committee to note. So look, we'll now move on to item 6, which is the Agile Working Policy. We have Anna obviously here to answer any questions. As always, we'll take the paper as read. It is a paper that's obviously been to this committee previously. This is an updated and slightly amended paper. You'll have seen reading through it, the amendments are quite clearly listed, so it's quite obvious where any changes or tweaks have taken place. If you're okay, unless Anna has a couple of words that she wishes to actually flag any particular points that she wishes to raise with us, otherwise we'll move straight into questions. So Anna, is there anything that you particularly want to raise with us?
Yeah, if we can just open by just stating that obviously Charm would have worked in an agile way now for over 12 months. So it's been clearly demonstrated that what's contained within the policy is workable. And just to reaffirm really that extensive consultation has been carried out with staff and trade unions. We've been to 3 joint meetings and we've taken on board a lot of the comments that have been raised by unions and staff members, and included those amendments within the policy as it's evolved. Other than that, nothing really more to add other than obviously what you've just said.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anna. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, I could see where the comments had come from, and the amendments made sense. So, do we have any questions? We have no questions. Look, there we go. We have a very good agile working policy, and as you said, the proof is that we've been working to it, and we have a very agile workforce.
Yeah.
So much to thank you and all the staff for. That's for sure. So in which case, I'm going to ask each member. We have no further questions. So I'm going to ask, and unless there are any other points anyone wishes to raise, we'll actually go to the vote. No, that's okay. So in which case, we will now go to the vote. So I'm going to ask each of the members to verbally confirm that they agree to the recommendation that's on page 7. I agree to that. So Councillor Berkeley.
I agree, Leader, for the reasons set out on page 7.
Thank you very much. Councillor Baldwin.
I agree the recommendations.
Thank you very much. Councillor Brennan.
I agree to the recommendations. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Lowe.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with the recommendations.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Poland.
I agree to the recommendations. Just to clarify, we don't formally need a seconder, do we?
Nikki, we haven't actually got a seconder on there. I think we're actually noting the paper. Is that right?
You're just agreeing that the
Yeah, I'll second it.
policy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll second it.
Okay, but I think we're fine just doing as we are, because we're noting the paper that's come through to us, so that's fine.
Okay.
But thank you very much, Councillor Berkeley, as well. Councillor Shepherd.
I agree the recommendation, Chair.
Thank you very much. That's everyone in that case, so that is agreed. So thank you very much to everyone. It's a short meeting this evening. Thank you very much to all of those in attendance. Apologies to Simon and Helen in particular. I don't think you actually got to say anything, but very good to see you anyway. And thank you very much to all colleagues. The next meeting is the 15th of June, 2021. Otherwise, I'm going